my channel. Today we're going to be doing a super quick little craft using the ceramic balloon puppy dog. For this project you will need the ceramic puppy dog. I found this at the dollar store. It cost me $1.25. And you're going to need some acrylic paint. I picked out white and two different colored pinks. I have a Tutti Frutti here, and this is candy pink. But you can pick whatever color you would like for yours. And I have some rhinestones, and I just have them kind of organized right now in this egg carton. And I have some paintbrushes here. I'm also going to use this for my paint. These are super handy, and I always keep them if I'm doing painting, and then I can just throw them away when I'm done. You're also going to need some glue. There is school glue here if you're working with children. There's crazy glue if you're an adult and you really do not want your rhinestones to be coming off ever. That's really a good choice. And I have this little pen and this little piece of wax from a diamond painting I did that is just going to help me pick up those little rhinestones when I'm ready for that part. You're also going to need a modge podge just to seal all your painting before we get to the rhinestones. I also have a little cup of water here if I need to wash my paintbrushes, and you need a paper towel or a rag just to clean off your paintbrushes as you go. And I'm going to put my first layer of paint right now. First, give your paint a good shake. I'm just gonna squirt some in there. And I'll add some more later if I need it. But that's how it's looking right now. I'm using a kind of medium-sized brush with an angle on it. I really like angled brushes because you can really get in all the grooves really well. You're just going to want to paint it nice and even. Make sure you don't have any big globs of paint anywhere because that'll take a really long time to dry. And it might give you kind of a bumpy texture once it is dry, which I really personally don't want. So I'm going to do nice thin layers, and it dries a lot quicker as well. I'm just going to kind of follow along in whatever direction the body's going. My brush strokes will also go. Okay, that's how our first layer is looking. I think it looks pretty cute already. And we're just going to wait until this layer dries completely. And then we're going to add another layer. And depending on how it looks, we'll start giving it a little bit of highlights and lowlights and whatnot. It's actually drying really quickly. It might be absorbed into the ceramic a little bit, but I'm touching it. I only have a little tiny bit of paint on my fingers. Since it's drying so quickly, I might just continue from the end that I started and work my way around again. Even the tail, I just did the tail. and it seems to be dry. So I think we should continue. Now I really like how it looks with the 2 layers of paint. I'm gonna start adding some highlights. I just dipped it in a little bit of white and a little bit of the pink color I was using, so it gets a little tiny bit mixed but not completely. And I'm just gonna highlight anywhere I think that the light would hit the balloon dog. And so I did a little bit on the legs and on the side and on the neck and on the nose and basically wherever you think the light would hit it. So you have to kind of choose where your light source would be so that you can kind of get your angles right. But it doesn't have to be perfect. You can really kind of play with it. And if you don't like how it's turning out, you can always paint over your highlights and you can try it again. But it's really, really simple to just give it a little more depth. So I let the balloon dog dry, and this is how the highlights are looking. Um, they're really kind of subtle. I really like how they turned out. It's gonna look even better when we put the Modge Podge on top. I'm using a glossy Modge Podge because I really want it to have that nice shiny balloon effect. But you can use whatever kind of Modge Podge you would like depending on how you would like yours to look. They have a glossy Modge Podge, they have a matte Modge Podge, they have a dishwasher safe Modge Podge. They have all kinds, but I'm going with the glossy one for this project. Now we're going to just pour a little Modge Podge into our container and we're going to do the first layer. So we're going to paint a nice thin layer of our Modge Podge and we're going to let it dry completely and then we'll probably give it another layer. And it works really, really good to seal your artwork, to protect it. It'll make it, this one will make it really nice and shiny and give it such a nice finish to it. This is how it looks after the first coat. You can already see it's super, super shiny, really adding to the balloon effect. And we're going to let it dry completely. And we will come back and we will give it a second layer. Gave it about half an hour, I believe, to dry. And it's super shiny. It looks awesome already, but we're going to do a second coat. Okay, I'm back and this has been drying for a while. You can see that it's really nice and glossy now. And there's the other side. And now I'm going to be bedazzling it. I have very tiny little crazy glue here. You could use school glue if you prefer. You could probably even use Modge Podge. Just rub on a little Modge Podge and stick your gems there. You could use a tweezer if you prefer. I'm just using this little pen and this wax simply because I have it on hand right now, so that's what I'm going to use. And we're just going to figure out wherever you think some gems would look nice. I'm just going to put a few around. I don't want to crowd it, but I'm going to put some here. Oops, I got to open it. If you're using super glue, you're going to want to be very careful so you don't glue your fingers together, because I did that the other day and it was no fun. Okay, we're going to put just a little tiny bit. There's a drop right there. It's probably even bigger than what I needed to use, and my rhinestones are still in there. Shake them around a bit. There, I have one. It might be a little hard to see right here, but I'm using one larger rhinestone and two smaller rhinestones in the shape of a mouse head. For anybody who loves Disney or Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse, you can put little mouse heads on it if you want for a gift. You can make little flowers out of your rhinestones. You could write somebody's name on the side of the puppy dog if you wanted, which I think would be really sweet. And this is how our balloon dog turned out. I really like the highlights that I did, and I think gloss was the perfect Mod Podge to choose. The few little rhinestone embellishments I think really add to it without taking anything away from it. Thank you so much for watching.